Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. As always, your host with the most, Ghost. Little DVD review for you guys here today. Before we get into it and down to business, take some time and subscribe to the channel here. Also, I want to give a little shout out to up-and-coming YouTube channel, WWE Fans 13. This guy is about, 14 years old here. He's only got 40 subscribers, about 40 subscribers right now, guys. So help him out. Let's get him a few more subscribers. I want to see his channel do good in the near future. So let's get right into it, guys. New Year's Revolution 2006. And with Money in the Bank coming up, I thought this would be, a little treat for you. So it was the first pay-per-view of 2006 featuring the Elimination Chamber match. John Cena defending the championship in an elimination chamber. This is from Albany, New York. And, this was at a time when I wasn't even watching wrestling. So it's kind of cool to go back and watch the final moments of Edge and Money in the Bank and all that happened with it. I just got zoned out of wrestling. I tuned it out. I had a lot going on at the time, and, wrestling wasn't part of my life at this point for about another year, maybe 2 years at this point. I wouldn't be watching wrestling until almost 2008, and for whatever reason, when I go back, I think 2006 is, pretty good year for WWE. WrestleMania, we had some big moments at Mania with John Cena and Triple H, who had a damn good match. We had the return of DX. Survivor Series 2006 with CM Punk and DX and all that stuff. A lot going on in 2006. So overall, I don't know what this show would be graded, but, we got John Cena as the WWE Champion. We got Kane there, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle at his best. I love 2006 Kurt Angle, 2005 Kurt Angle. And this does come with the insert, similar to the cover. 10 tons of steel, 2 miles of chain, and 1 man left standing. So the disc and all that looks similar to the cover with John Cena. I really like that cover with the chamber in the background. So this pay-per-view is most notable for the Money in the Bank cash-in. So we start off the night with an Intercontinental Championship match. Ric Flair is the IC champion, and he defends against Edge in what I thought was a pretty good match. Edge tried to, steal the title. Ric Flair ends up retaining the championship. Then we got a interview segment with Todd Grisham interviewing Kurt Angle and Daivari. Excuse me. I always thought that this pairing was kind of odd with Daivari and Angle, but I guess after the departure of Muhammad Hassan, they really didn't have much for Daivari. They stuck him with Angle, who really didn't need a mouthpiece, and it was just a very odd pairing. Trish Stratus defending the women's title against Mickie James. I really thought they could have saved this for Mania. I didn't realize that this happened so soon, but Trish does end up putting Mickey over at WrestleMania 22. And again, Trish Stratus was on the run of her life here. Trish was definitely at the top of the women's division at this time. There wasn't too much going on in the women's division. We had, Ashley, Maria, Candice, Michelle, Tori Wilson, and Victoria. So it was definitely moving more towards the Divas division at this time with the, bra and panties matches every night. And, what guy doesn't want to see beautiful women in their bra and panties? I love those matches. They're not very technical, but, it's a hell of a sight. And so moving along, we got Maria attempting to interview herself. This is when Maria was, this dumb, ditzy bimbo that, always screwed things up. And it just came off as bad acting. I didn't like the Maria character at this time. Shelton Benjamin arriving with his mama. If you ever hear a podcast with Shelton Benjamin talking about Mama, you know how much he loved that time period. And, she was a heavier woman. Here's a little story that Mama was celebrating with the IC title. She was in a wheelchair at the time, and Shelton has to push her from the ramp to the ring and back up the ramp while Mama is, dancing in this wheelchair with the IC title, celebrating. And that's after his match, and, Shelton's pretty tired after that. So Jerry Lawler and Gregory Helms, I thought they had a pretty good match. This is after the Hurricane stuff, so Gregory is more of a heel now. I thought Gregory Helms was a pretty good heel. Shelton Benjamin in catering, trying to get something good for her son, which she is interrupted by Viscera. We got Big Show and Triple H in a pretty fun match. Big Show has a cast on his arm at this time. Triple H had smashed his hand with the sledgehammer, and Triple H always tries to incorporate some type of storytelling in his matches, whether it's working the leg, working the arm, working the head and neck area mostly. And this story was Big Show. He had this gigantic cast. It looks so comedic that, Big Show was getting ribbed for this. Big Show would end up smashing the cast over the ring post. And when the cast got pulled off, Big Show's hand was like purple and red. It just looked nasty. I don't know if that was real or not, but it was great how they worked it in. Triple H, I'm pretty sure Triple H ends up going over and smashing him with the sledgehammer. So Carlito and Chris Masters are trying to come up with this plan to kind of team up together and take out John Cena during the Elimination Chamber. We got an impromptu match here with Shelton Benjamin and Viscera. Not too much going on there. Shelton does get put on a hell of a match with Viscera. Mr. McMahon wishes Shawn Michaels luck in the Elimination Chamber. Then we have a bra and panties gauntlet match, like I mentioned. Ashley, Maria, Candice, Michelle, Tori Wilson, and Victoria. I can't say too much about these ladies because I really wasn't watching at the time. I know they were big on pushing Ashley at the time, who was more like a punk rocker. You know, none of these ladies really came out on top of this. Christy Hemme, I know they were big on around this time. Ashley, who was a Playboy cover girl. Maria Kanellis definitely came out on top. Tori Wilson and Victoria, you know, their records speak for themselves. And what was the supposed main event was John Cena, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Chris Masters, Carlito, and Kane in an Elimination Chamber match. I thought was pretty damn good for what it was, but, you know, in typical Cena fashion, he ends up eliminating Carlito and Chris Masters fairly quickly in the end there, and they boo the hell out of him. Mr. McMahon comes out after the match is over, and he's telling them to bring the cage up. The show isn't over yet. Get the cage out of the way. And he announces that Edge is now cashing in his Money in the Bank privilege. And we have ourselves a WWE Championship match between John Cena and Edge. Edge wins fairly quickly, and we have a new WWE Champion. And on some of the extras here, they do a little interview at the end there, if you can see that. Todd Grisham interviews that they announced the live sex celebration tomorrow night on Raw. And that would do a 6.9 or something crazy like that. So I would say Edge's first WWE title win was a success. The Money in the Bank, overall, the overall appeal of the Money in the Bank was a success. And, you know, this really got the ball rolling heading into WrestleMania 22. It does suck that they took the belt off Cena or Edge at the Rumble, but it wouldn't be the end of John Cena and Edge's rivalry. This was just the beginning. These guys had a great year, in my opinion, going through several pay-per-views together. They went to the Science Center there and at the Royal Rumble. It sucks they never main evented a WrestleMania together. They did headline SummerSlam that year, Unforgiven, and they had a hell of a TLC match. John Cena and Edge, one of my favorite rivalries. These guys had great chemistry in the ring, and a couple other bonus features here include, Mickie James trying to approaching Trish Stratus, trying to go to her hotel together. We got Kurt Angle and Daivari, Carlito, all reacting to the finish of the Elimination Chamber match. Carlito complaining that somebody who won the title wasn't even in the match. So, big ups to Edge, who, did a great job as Money in the Bank. And now it's all spawned off to its own pay-per-view. It's one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, in my opinion. It's something to look forward to. It's almost, if not more popular than the Royal Rumble now. Money in the Bank has become, very big. I remember back in, must have been 2005, Edge was on Raw with the briefcase, and he would just smash that thing over people's heads, cheating to win matches, and it sucks that I stopped watching wrestling at that point, and, I really wanted to see that character develop so much more, and with Edge being one of my favorites back from, 2001, 2002, seeing Edge win the King of the Ring, that Money in the Bank was, much more important than winning King of the Ring was to Edge. So, take some time, subscribe to the channel, guys. Also, remember to go subscribe to WWE Fans 13. We'll talk to you later. Peace.